Uh, Perfect. I'll have to start. Let's go with the captaincy. Emily Chancellor gets the nod. I know she's been a part of your leadership group for a couple of months now, but what sort of impressed you as a leader about Em?
Yeah, so she's always, and she's a natural leader in the group. She's always taken some form of leadership within it. She's been advice to Bessie now for the last sort of 6 months or so, and it's just a natural step for her to come in as captaincy. She leads regardless, and her and Bess have worked really well together. So this is a great opportunity for her, and one I know that she'll step up into really well.
She's someone that's come off the bench the past couple of games as well. Like, how do you feel the balance of having her as a leader but also being a finisher at the same time?
Yeah, so she's and that's kind of how that's been complemented a little bit with her coming off the bench and having that leadership at the end of the games. But obviously she's starting this game, and having that leadership from the start is important.
Also, sort of further changes in the side. I mean, can you just sort of go into, I think the first time we spoke since we heard about Charlotte and Bessie's injuries, any further updates you can give about when you expect them to be back?
Yeah, so as it stands, we're hopeful that they'll return for the World Cup. They're currently not in camp with us. They're kind of rehabbing full time together in Sydney to give them the best possible opportunity to return. So obviously tough at this stage, but like I said, we're still hopeful.
And obviously, the perfect replacement coming back in G. Fredericks, Georgina Fredericks, sorry. What is it, just having her experience back in that midfield? Can you just talk about how beneficial it's been just within this preparation for Wales? Yeah,
like you said, obviously missing Charlotte, but then unfortunately, Gfred wasn't available for us in New Zealand, but her coming back in, and so it's kind of light for light there in terms of that replacement. And she's obviously, paired up with Trill in the past. So, her experience and her communication, and we know her work rate is through the roof. So, we're pleased to have her back in the squad with us.
And just finally, one for me, for now, Mac Leonard being arrested this game. I just wondering, just give a comment about the second row depth. What's those conversations been like with Mac in order to sort of what you sort of wanted to either go away and work on, or just sort of reassuring her that it's all she's sort of going to continue being the plans heading forward to Sydney and beyond? Yeah, so
obviously Mac and Leanie have been our two starting locks for some time, and they're both really proven themselves. That we rested Leanie earlier in the year to have a look at a different combination, and for us right now with Leanie and Mac having so much of the game time, it's important for us that in that lock position that we get game time for the two other locks in Cody and Ash in preparation for the World Cup, and obviously some of the other changes are forced through injury, but Matt's very aware that she played really well against New Zealand, so this is an indication of performance. It's just an opportunity for the others.
I'll jump in now. Hello, Joe. Obviously, of course, as you allude to, there's been obviously the 6 changes, a couple of changes due to injury, a couple of changes due to rotation. Are you pleased with the quality of the depth that's kind of coming through, particularly compared to this match, this corresponding 2 matches last year when you played Wales in both in Newport and then South Africa?
Yeah, and we've talked about this a lot, and we've obviously given a lot of players opportunities over the last 2 years, but now it's really important because what it's allowed us to do is have depth. So players are coming in, and it's not as scary as it maybe was, in terms of those replacements and the depth. We're really confident in the group we've got, and even with players like Ruby and Lily and Noor at the moment coming in as new players into the squad, if you like, because of the injuries, they've stepped straight in and they're performing really well in training. So, everyone's sort of kind of gone up a level.
Yeah, I feel like those games, those 2 matches against Wales last year were quite pivotal fixtures in terms of the context of the side's development and growth that we see now. How has that sort of influenced prep going into this 2-match series and kind of getting a sense of what to expect? Also, of course, with the context of the World Cup hanging in the background too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like Wales, we've had a lot of really tight battles with Wales in the past. It's always a tight battle with them that we found, and obviously last year at WXV, we kind of lost to them in the two games, but in the one game beforehand, but then beat them in WXV, and so it's always that real tight tussle. We know they're a tenacious side, they're a physical side, and they're now led by Alex Callender, who is a very passionate leader in that squad as well. So we're excited for a battle on Saturday.
Just two more for me. First of all, Ash Masters will be getting her 40th cap, first Wallaroo to hit the 40 mark, closing in on the half century as well.
Yeah.
Kind of talk to me about the influence and what does she bring to this side, and why it is so special that she is the first Wallaroo in history to hit that milestone.
Yeah, no, Ash is a big character in the group, and the thing about Ash is, like, you can just play her anywhere. She's played all across the front row, she's played across the back row, she's played in the centres, so she, that experience, and also, like, she's just such a good, like, ball player, and she's got that flair and she's got that physicality, and and when she speaks, players listen because she's got that experience behind her, so it's really valuable for us.
And then lastly, just a kind of an injury question outside of the initial squad, because I know that in addition to Pessy and Charlotte being out, I know obviously there's Maya, there's BB, there's Brianna as well, kind of who have been on the cusp of potentially coming back. Is it possible we could get an update just on how they're going, either
of course,
for this series or in the context of World Cup prospects as well? Yeah,
of course. Maya, she's on track at the moment, and we're hoping for her to feature in the second Wales game, and that she's currently on track for that. Bri Hoy has made awesome progress, obviously returning from a big injury. She's back in full training with us at the moment, so we want to get a couple more weeks of full training under her belt and then she'll be ready to go when we hit the World Cup. So she's really added value to our training sessions, and BB is she's obviously returning from a hamstring, but she won't feature for us now going forward into the World Cup.
Well, good, thank you.
Just one or two more for me. You've seen a great side throughout those New Zealand games, but just not being able to close it out in that second half. What is that missing link that's sort of prohibiting those great starts finishing in sort of these breakthrough wins?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like we're doing a lot of work, and we continue to do a lot of work with the game drivers as well. I thought New Zealand came out and took their opportunities and played field position well, and we struggled to get that field position in that second half. So yeah, we've talked about that, and then unfortunately we didn't execute with some of our launches and hold on to the ball. So they're all things that we've kind of taken from that game, and like that's all we can do, and make sure that we're learning from that going forward into the next one.
Just finally, looking at the back three, Wahara and Caitlin, probably two of the youngest players you could throw out there. In fact, two youngest players in the history of Wallaroos there. What is it about their maturity that sort of has you comfortable that they can handle added responsibility that with, I guess no Charlotte, a bit more sort of less experience in that back three?
Yeah, well, we've seen Caitlin. She sort of made that 15 shoot her own at WXV, and she's she's had a lot of games now for us, and her kicking game is one of the best. She's got a good, she's obviously got a good long boot on her, and against a team like Wales that like to kick a lot, that's important for us. And then like Bubba, I thought did exceptionally well against New Zealand. People talked about her size and being up against who she was, but there wasn't many attackers that got around her defensively. She's really solid. She's got a good kicking game as well. So the way we use our back three and her skill set, it's not just about her sitting on the wing, and she can come off her wing, she can use her footwork, and she can put the ball in behind. So they're exciting players, and they're there because they're good enough to be there.
Great, thanks so much, Joe.
Thank you.